Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we the people. We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car, and we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free. This belief has been the underlying basis for everything I've tried to do these past 8 years. But back in the 1960s, when I began, it seemed to me that we'd begun reversing the order of things. That through more and more rules and regulations and confiscatory taxes, the government was taking more of our money, more of our options, and more of our freedom. I went into politics in part to put up my hand and say, stop. I was a citizen politician, and it seemed the right thing for a citizen to do. I think we have stopped a lot of what needed stopping, and I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
How you doing, my friend? Everything is okay today. 6:45 p.m. Trust yourself, be yourself, and also defend America. The United States of America. You have to be proud of yourself. Have to be proud of America. We can have some differences around here, but the main thing here is the Constitution. And some people want to eliminate the Constitution. They want to do something kind of different, amend the Constitution. And we have to go by the line of the law. And that's what it is. Thank you, everybody. Pass information. I got some people looking. So let me see. Pass this information. So I want to talk in Spanish and English. So basically, what I want to try to say is that we are the power of this nation, the United States of America, and you have the power, and you demonstrate the power in the when you vote in the 2024 elections. So depends how they treat us. That's how the Hispanic Latino are going to be voting in 2028, or maybe the midterm elections. So be alert. Be alert for all these politicians around this area. So I'm going to talk in Spanish at this moment. Basically, what I'm going to do is do something basic from 2026 polls onto 2024. Something basic to make you think about how is the power that you have in the coming up midterm elections and 2020 elections. So you have to put your voice in action. Don't be silenced. Defend your rights, your civil rights that protect you in the Constitution. All these issues about immigration, all these problems that we're seeing around here, all the news provide a lot of information that sometimes is 60%, 60% is not accurate. So you have to do your own research so you can be able to understand what the heck they're trying to do, brainwash, and they're not providing the great education for us. Many people are afraid, especially a lot of the Latinos, are afraid about what's going on at this moment. But just calm down, relax, and try to pray a lot. That's the main thing. Pray a lot and be strong. That's the only thing I can tell you. Other than that, I'm going to go back in Spanish so you understand, because this is more a Spanish audience, but I would always try to speak something in English so you know what's going on. Elecciones del 2016. The elections of 2016. I'm going back to 2016. Voy hacia atrás al 2016. La candidata del Partido Demócrata, Hillary Clinton, the candidate for the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, had the 91% of the African Americans. Ella obtuvo el 91% de los afroamericanos en el voto del 2016. Trump obtuvo el 7%. Only Trump had the 7%. And we have at that time, by midterms of 2016, 3.1% undecided, but most of them were saying that they want a different option. Para aquel entonces, a mediados del 2016, muchos de ellos querían otro candidato, estaban indecisos. Esta información la recopilé, aquí la tengo, por Pew Research Center, May 2016. Esta información se fue recopilada por Pew Research Center en mayo del 2026. Estoy dando una trayectoria. Ahí tenemos a Gage Skidmore, otra institución. That's another institution that do polls very, very accurate in the way they evaluate the geographic area and how they do the polls. 1,000 personas en ese análisis de encuesta. 1,000 Latinos and Hispanic around without asking you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent, whatever. 66% were supposed to vote for Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and 24% for Trump. 9% they want another candidate. They were undecided, so that's what happened. And it happened like that. 1,000 encuestas para mayo del 2016, 1,000 latinos al azar, 66% a favor de Clinton, 24% a favor de Trump, 9% otro candidato, o obviamente estaban indecisos y no saben por qué votar. Así que les estoy dando una trayectoria para que entendamos la importancia, ya pasen esta información, la importancia que tú tienes para ejercer el voto. I'm just trying to let you know and make you understand here on your mind that the power that you have for the vote. But it's not only go and vote and then go home and stay at home. You have to vote. You have to be active. No es meramente votar y quedarte en tu casa. Es ser activo. Llevar el mensaje. Porque en tu casa no vas a hacer nada. Definitivamente. El otro es el likewise institution poll center that 59% of women in favor of Hillary Clinton and 35% of Trump out of the 1,000 people. But in one place, we have 1,000 people without knowing those people, women in that case. They prefer Hillary Clinton out of Trump. That's in 2016. I'm trying to summarize I had to make you understand the power that you have, that we have. Okay? So sometimes people say, okay, I prefer this candidate, I prefer the other one, but that's not the right way, That's not the thinking, the way they think. They're just thinking at the moment how they're going to vote, or maybe I like this person at the moment. Sometimes they're not right because they use their feelings, their anger, and they don't like maybe because that person or that candidate say something about something that they don't like. Muchas veces las personas no les gusta porque se va muy a lo personal, o dicen, I don't like this person, no me gusta persona porque dijo algo, o no me gusta algo porque no me gustan sus políticas públicas. Pero no abundan en el sentido de cómo esa persona que se supone que representa tus valores y tu manera de pensar, o por lo menos que haga algo. Vote por esas cualidades, no por los personalismos, sino por lo que va a hacer por ti, por tu familia y por tus comunidades. Y ahí es donde tenemos el problema del fanatismo y que las personas no se dejan llevar por la razón. Por lo tanto, tenemos que empezar a ver las cosas diferentes. ¿Ok? Tenemos que mirar las cosas very different. At this moment, you have to think different, out of the box. And don't take things personal. Use the reason. And that's what I can tell you. Lo que deseo decir con esto es que cada individuo, en cualquier lugar, encuestas que se hagan, yo he hecho encuestas, muchas encuestas he hecho en mi vida, tiene la libertad. Everybody that go and not voting in the elections, when they do this type of polls, they're not measuring all the right things, because this week can be something and next week can be something else as far as the percentage of those people that get those phone calls or surveys, whatever. They think different. But it's the liberty that you have to think and choose how to vote, like you want to vote. Y algunos ciertamente votan por votar, o de manera inesperada, because they don't know how to vote sometimes. They are misinformed. That's very bad. Eso es parte de la sociología. That's part of the sociology, that the story of sociology is people vote depend how they think at the moment, or how they are their own views, but they don't want to go beyond or the things that can be able to benefit them in the long term. They go to personal. Y eso es otro problema que estamos teniendo. Eso es parte de la sociología, el origen social del ser humano. A menudo son errores o cometen errores. 2020, 2020, Biden versus Trump. Women's. Biden obtuvo, he obtained 55.1% and Trump 39%. Okay. Versus 2026, Trump, he got 5% up higher. Trump went down 4%. If you compare 2016 versus 2020. En los hombres, el voto de los hombres hacia Biden y Trump, men voting for Trump and Biden in 2020, Biden had 47% versus 80%, 48%, I'm sorry, 48%, 47 a 48. Así que eso estaba bien pegadito por ahí, a 1%. 2020 Hispanic Latino vote in percentage, we have a Biden 59% and Trump 35%. Well, he got a little gain in percentage. Anglos or white vote Trump 49% and Trump have 45%. But in the day of the elections in November 2020, Trump had 56% and Biden dropped down 40%. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is que las encuestas es un barómetro. And people say, oh, let's see all the, all the surveys, all the polls and all the news of this big corporation that get money for everybody, for all the political parties, all the candidates. They give you millions and millions of dollars to promote something fake. Look what happened in 2024. Las encuestas son un barómetro, no significa que es lo que se va a dar en las elecciones del 2028 o los midterms de 2022, 2026, I'm sorry, or what happened in 2024, in 2020 and 2016. Lo que cuenta es el voto al momento que tú vas a votar y los últimos 10 días o 12 días de unas elecciones es lo que se tiene que dar y hacer y define quién gana o quién pierde unas elecciones. The last 10 or 12 days of the day of the elections will determine who's going to win the elections, not 2, 3, 5, 6 months before. I done surveys. I did a lot of studies also a long time ago, and I know. Number 6, 2020. African Americans, Biden had 86%. Okay. Trump only 9%. Trump stood the same way in the elections, 9%. Nothing went up. Biden got a little bit, about 3% more. He ended in November 2020 with 89%. So he got increased of 2%. And you might be thinking, tú estarás pensando, why Sosi talking all these things since 2026 until now? Because it's something that you may have to understand. The vote is very important for the Latino, Hispanic community, but some of you are compliance. Oh, okay. Nothing is wrong, everything is okay. And you need to be more active, to be honest. Be active, because it's not, you want to change, you have to earn the change. Si quieres cambio, tienes que ganarte ese cambio haciendo activismo comunitario y retando a estos políticos que algunos de todos los partidos políticos están haciendo las cosas mal hechas. El 60% para ser justo. So you have to be more active. If you want to change, the only way you make changes in the communities are you. Be active. Challenge those politicians from all parties, Democrats, Republican, Independents, whatever. And challenge them and ask them what the heck you are doing for us. Or why are you doing this thing that's not right for us? Specifically all the Hispanic Latinos. Your voice had to be heard in the right way. Educating, be active. Doesn't matter if you don't get to with the Democrat Party, Republican Party, or non-profit organization. Whatever you want to do, you have to do it in the right way. But remember, it's an organization that represents your values. That's what you need to do, but in the right way. Read a lot of information before you make that step. But in 2028, 2026 more, but more 2028, the Hispanic vote will be very, very important. Depend the message and how the policies of this administration will be in favor or against. And you're gonna feel it 1 year and a half from now. You are going to compare the benefits. And that's where I see it. So I'm still going back to the polls in 2020. Estoy todavía con el análisis de las encuestas de las elecciones. This is what I'm telling you right now is not the poll from 3-6 months before the elections. Estas estadísticas en por ciento fueron el día de las elecciones. Lo que te estoy dando. El otro grupo importante, Asian Americans, votaron por Biden 65%. He got gained about 3% in the election day, 68%, 3 more percents up. Trump only gained, he got 28%. Stayed still. He didn't gain more percentage in the elections day, so he stayed the same, 28%. And I'm almost done. I'm going to go now to 2024. Elections 2024 in percentage. Trump gains 48% in the Hispanic Latino vote versus 35% in 2020. O sea que Trump obtuvo un 48% del voto hispano y latino versus el 35% en el 2020. ¿Qué aumento fue ese? 8%. 2016 obtuvo más que el 28% del voto hispano. 2016, 28%. ¿Verdad que sí? ¿Viste cómo está aumentando? Aumentó. 2020 un 35% y en el 2024 un 48%. Ese 48% estará nuevamente en el 2028. Yo no lo voy a decir. A la larga vamos a hablar sobre eso en el transcurso del tiempo. So that 48% that he got in 2024 will be the same percent in 2028. I will let you know later. And you're going to judge 1 year and a half from now or 2 years from now, kind of. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. The foreign-born Hispanic. Estos son los ya nacidos ciudadanos americanos, hispanos latinos. O sea, ahora quieren, and I'm against this situation here. The Constitution says that if you born in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen. Period. People won't like what I'm saying, but that's what it is. Well, they have to amend the Constitution. Is that the case? Que enmiende la Constitución para que entonces los nacidos de padres no legales que no sean ciudadanos americanos, pero estos que son los foreign-born Hispanic que tienen el derecho al voto, eso es lo que eso es el Partido Republicano tiene que tener cuidado con ese bloque importante de 18 años hasta 33 años, 34 años, según las estadísticas, es un porciento grandísimo. That's a big percentage from 18 years old to 34, 25 years old. Hispanic, foreign-born Hispanic. That's a big block. And you have to be alert. When I say alert, the Hispanic, Latino, that are going to vote, that are cut in that block of people. More than 3 million, I guess, for 2028. Trump aseguró 1%, la mitad de ese por ciento a favor de él. Un cambio histórico hacia el Partido Republicano. Trump gained half of the votes in Biden half of those votes. But that historically, that's the big game that the Republican Party had for years, for decades. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that some of y'all think that putting some videos here and talking about what they're doing, not educating, not providing real information about policies. There's a difference about policies and laws and regulations and how should be applied and how the groups have been affected or will gain positive views or will change their life in the near future. We're looking for immigration reform, legal immigration reform, not persecution. Inmigración legal, no persecución, primero que nada, es ley y orden, controlar las borders, eso yo lo entiendo. We need to control the borders, law and order, that's okay, but not persecution. And then third, we need a reform. What happened to the 28 that they present a legalized reform for immigration in all areas? Nobody did nothing about it. And then, Obama present una orden ejecutiva, un executive order through the White House of Obama for all the DACAs, and the Supreme Court say, hey, that's in Constitution. You cannot do that, Obama. That has to be through a legislation, through the Congress. So they keep playing this ping pong ball around here, and we don't have no real solution and real immigration reform. And that's my point of view. And I'm a conservative, but I have to be clear. You have to have a balance. Some people disagree, and some people agree with me. Algunos van a estar a favor y otros en contra. Tiene que haber una reforma legal. Más jueces de inmigración. ¿Verdad que sí? Más oficiales, parol de inmigración también. Más parol, agents, border patrol agents, more security in the borders, and check the laws and regulations of immigration. So it's a big package for a right reform, not only one area. Some people don't agree, some people will agree with me. I understand that point of view. Nobody going to be satisfied. That's the problem here. And then they keep using the ping pong politics so they can justify not to do nothing about it. So where are we going to have a real solution? I'm not talking about amnesty. I'm not talking all that kind of thing. Nothing about that. It's a real resolution and a real reform. How and where are we going to get those big corporations abusing the one also they're not legal here, abusing all their civil rights or the labor rights that they should have, regardless they're not here legally or they don't have no papers, but they have rights. So why we keep allowing these big corporations doing what they're doing at this moment? So that's my point of view. So I finished, to be honest, but I want to go back for the Afro Americans. That was a big advance or a big gain in the support to Trump in the 2024 elections. Many factors. I can give you 3 factors about that. The policies or the economy policies. We need jobs. We need business. We need to create more business for the small entrepreneur African Americans. And that's what they're looking on Trump. That's why most of them vote for them. For him, I mean. criminal justice reform. That's a huge. We need to do a criminal justice reform. Justicia criminal, una reforma de justicia criminal en las instituciones penales estatales y federales. Bastantes personas han sido presas o sentenciadas con sentencias extremadamente fuera de control, porque los cálculos de los jueces de federales tienen una tabla. La pena versus el delito hay que analizar si es coherente, como hizo Biden en los años de los 80 del crack law, ¿te acuerdas? Pues eso es una reforma también que hay que hacer. Creo que están trabajando en eso. Y the last thing of many of those is because they have a big frustration of the way the Democrat Party has been operating in the last 15, 20 years. That's why most of them vote for Trump. That's the three main reasons. But anything can change if they don't do what they want. That's the meaning of representing the values and the needs of a specific group. In this case, I'm talking about African Americans. So that's the way it is. Les dije una trayectoria desde el 2016 hasta ahora sobre este asunto de why the Hispanics are very strong for the next cycle 2026 and 2028. So I think I'm done for today. Pass this information. Dios me lo bendiga. God bless you. I got something here. And I think I might read some of this in Spanish, I guess. Déjame ver cuál les hablo. ¿De cuál les hablo? Le voy a hablar de aquí, esta parte que viene de bavivas.com. Bavivas.com. Entonces te habla, y esto es un resumen, según las encuestas recientes desde febrero hasta mayo, a finales de mayo de 2025, los votantes latinos votaron por Trump un porcentaje histórico del 45% en las elecciones del 2024, lo que representa un aumento significativo en la comparación con los comicios anteriores. Este porcentaje rompe el récord previo en apoyo de votantes hispanos a un candidato del Partido Republicano históricamente, anteriormente establecido, y rompió el récord del George W. Bush. Sin embargo, ten en cuenta que la información proporcionada en estos momentos no especifica ni dirige directamente o exactamente qué va a suceder de aquí a 3 años, por los posibles cambios radicales y de cambios de políticas públicas de inmigración. Y es importante que tengamos este punto de vista. Yo no estoy aquí juzgando a nadie, sino estoy hablando lo que se supone que se hable. Sin embargo, las políticas de control de inmigración implementadas por Donald Trump han generado reacciones encontradas entre todos los hispanos de la comunidad hispana, de líderes comunitarios, líderes religiosos, líderes cívicos, non-profit organizations. Un problema que parece contradictorio en algunos hispanos y algunos grupos también, que han mostrado, obviamente, una preocupación, y algunos hispanos están divididos sobre este particular. A pesar de sus políticas públicas de Trump, un 43.2% respalda en estos momentos a Trump. Me refiero a la masa de los 50 estados americanos. Pero también las políticas de Trump, como el sistema de restricción del apoyo internacional y solicitudes de visas se han suspendido temporariamente, lo que la prensa no les habla, con las nuevas solicitudes que se están implementando y reciclando las viejas por falta de información falsa, seguros sociales ilegales, números de teléfonos ilegales, de más de 588,000 solicitantes que Biden estableció este asunto. Probation, ¿verdad? Provisional probation, o lo que se le llama es provisional. Tenían 2 años para renovar la documentación y miles y miles y miles no lo hicieron. Pues eso es falta de información, eso es falta de hacer las cosas bien hechas. Entonces, todo el mundo se queja, pues es la verdad. Se están haciendo ahora nuevas peticiones y revisiones de asilos políticos, eliminando también los programas de admisión de refugiados, porque eso fue un programa de la ONG con la ONU para establecer políticas públicas de la crisis humanitaria en los open borders, lo que la prensa ni muchos de ustedes no les hablan. Pues tenemos que educar para entender los asuntos de política pública local. Y eso es lo más importante que hay que hacer y muchos no lo están haciendo. Hay otros factores que yo les voy a hablar porque ya me demoré demasiado, son 37 minutos y medio que estoy hablando. Pero nada, Dios me los bendiga a todos, pasen la información. Aquí seguiré hablando como se pueda. Que Dios esté en su corazón. Y no sé qué les pongo, pero les voy a poner, no sé qué les pongo. Voy a ponerle aquí el mundo de Sosa News. Dios me los bendiga. Buenas tardes, saludos.